Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our daily pitching report that we're doing with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Right now, we're going to take a look at the card for Thursday, April 16th. Just 6 games. Joe Duffy, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me, Peter.
All right, Joe, just 6 games, but a marquee matchup, at least on paper, right? Cole Hamels and Doug Fister. Fister had a great year last year. First start this year, he gave up no earned runs. And Hamels, is traditionally kind of a slow starter, but, always possible that he can go, 8 innings, 8 shutout innings or 1-run innings. You think that might be a good candidate for an under, even though we know that that game will probably have a total of 6.5?
Yeah, you're correct there. It's going to be a very low total. It's one of those, it possibly could, because the Phillies don't have much of an offense, and Cole Hamels is still a stud pitcher on a very bad team. And Hamels, a lot of people are expecting him to eventually be traded, so Hamels will have plenty of motivation to, strut his stuff. I know that everyone's saying that Boston's a team he's going to wind up with eventually, and he didn't look very good on opening day, but then still, all in all, he's a top pitcher, and he's not going to get a lot of run support. So the under, even though it will be a low total, probably is something a lot of people are going to bet on.
All right, well, of the other 5 games, anything you think is particularly worth noting, Joe?
I don't know if there was anything that jumped out. I mean, obviously, we're doing this well in advance, so I don't know if there's anything that really jumped out this far in advance for the matchups, but it is ironic that you have 2 of the things that I've been looking at all year is, number one, generally fading Hamels, because I have a long history of fading good pitchers on bad teams. But I also have said that I think Washington's going to be overvalued. Washington could win, 90 games this year and then actually lose money for bettors, because you've got to pay such a steep price. So two of the things that I kind of had check marked to look at this year, they're going opposite of each other. So no, there's not really anything else that really jumped out. And as we get a little bit closer, take a look at some of the offensive numbers.
What about Aaron Sanchez for Toronto? He's a very highly touted youngster who had a good record in the past that showed a lot of promise. He had a bad first start, though. He got hit pretty hard, but he'll be back going up against Tampa Bay, who has been a productive team this year. But you might get a very modest line. You think that Sanchez might be due for a strong start here?
No, in fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. As a general rule of thumb, I like to go against these highly touted prospects who have accomplished a lot more in the media than they do in the field. And even guys who wind up living up to their expectations, they struggle a lot early. I remember, Johnny Cueto, who's turned out to be a very good pitcher, but he was supposed to be the second coming, and he struggled relative to his expectations early, and we made some money going against him. And I'm one of these guys who says, show me the money, show me doing it in the show before I actually am going to jump on your bandwagon. So I have a long history of fading highly touted phenoms in their early starts.
All right. Thanks so much, Joe. It sounds like you really know what you're talking about here. Do you generally have success in baseball at your website, OffshoreInsiders.com, Joe?
Yes, I do, and I trace my roots back to the score phone days. My picks have been public since 1988, and I've been betting for years before that. So it's been, about 35 years that I've been handicapping, but full-time as a full-time income since 1988.
All right. Thanks, Joe.